Welcome back everybody to the channel. I'm here in this AM morning with this 2011 Chevy Impala. You all know that I like the Chevy Impalas, and I haven't put this one in a video yet just because I haven't had time. This particular 2011 Chevy Impala we purchased it for 800 bucks, and we put winter tires on it and did a little bit of exhaust work with it, and the car's been running really good. The only issue I'm having right now is it's been reported back to me that it has a little antifreeze leak. So let's open the hood and take a look around. The first thing I'm looking at, guys, is these clips. Now, a lot of people like these clips. Me in particular, I don't. These are the manufacturer clips for the hoses, and I'm noticing it has it right here, and it also has it on the bottom hose down there. I have a feeling it's possible that it's leaking from the bottom hose off of that manufacturer clamp. It's the style where you put the tool or pliers or vice grips, whatever you got, and you just hook them on, release them, pull them off, and then you just slip them back on, take your pliers, vice grips, whatever, and it's done. But in particular, I'm not fond. Now, we all know when it comes to antifreeze leak, it could be anything. It could be the radiator, could be hoses, could be the water pump. There's a lot that could cause a leak, but I'm thinking it's probably the bottom hose. And also, I'm just checking here now. I actually think I see some antifreeze. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. I don't know if I can get the camera down there, but I think it could be in there somewhere. Well, according to this one, she's basically full, but can put a little bit down there. Okay, so we're going to start her up, let her idle for a while, and see what happens. I'm looking for some engine clean here, guys. We need some engine clean. I'm gonna use some engine clean to clean up that tube so we can see its level. Now we're checking around for leaks. So you gotta wait for the thermostat. Did you drive this one? Not today. Just checking around, guys, seeing if I can see anything. Nothing to see. I can turn it off. So guys, we have found a leak. And if you can see it, it's right there. It's dripping on the ground. But the issue sometimes with these cars is actually seeing it, because there's not a lot of room between the radiator and the manifold. And with her fans and everything on, it's hard to see down there. Well, it's in that area. You see, it's falling in there. That literally could be the bottom of the rad. It could be the bottom of the rad, which we have lots of rads, because I can't see it being that hose. Okay.
Right here. Yeah, you see it there. Right there.
It's the bottom of the rad.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, guys, about these cars. If you noticed earlier, I said it could be the bottom of the radiator. It's kind of a thing with these cars that what happens is the rad is sitting on its rad mounts, and if the rubbers on the bottom are getting bad or dry rotted or cracked, there's movement in the rad shifting back and forth inside of the cradle where the rad sits, the rad support, sorry, not cradle, the rad support, and you get that friction on the bottom end of the rad, and that's what happens. So guys, it's coming from the bottom of the rad, which is no big deal. It's not a very big deal on these cars. The biggest issue with these is just getting that bottom hose on, because you got a lot of stuff in the way. But other than that, it's not a big issue. Now with that being said, you got to let go of the two engine mounts, because that's how the rad got to come up. So if anybody's ever doing this, remember you got to take off the left and right engine mount. As we diagnosed the problem, I was right. If you remember back when I first started looking at the car, I mentioned to my buddy here, I said, it's possible that it could be the bottom of the rad, and well, I was right. Guys, the only reason why I'm right is not because I'm any better than anybody else. It's just I'm used to these cars. You know, all these years, right? It's always been these cars, and they all do the same thing. They all got an issue with the rear door locks for the cab light, and it's always inside the connection when you close the door. There's a little plastic piece there. Every Chevy Impala has an issue with rear door cab lights. Opening and closing the door, the cab lights, what's happening is the cab light sticks on. And you got to take it all apart, clean it up, put it back together, keep spraying it all the time so that it works. Another common problem with them is, of course, wheel bearings. And guys, I'm going to tell you something. This next thing I'm going to tell you guys about these cars. Now remember, I like these cars. There's a lot worse, man, out there. These are actually good cars. In the rare occasion you get a bad wheel bearing in these cars, I'm just letting you know. If you start getting symptoms of a bad wheel bearing in any Chevy Impala from, I'm going to say, 2004 up till they ended them. They ended this generation of the Chevy Impala, which is like 2012, I think, 13, they ended it. But if you get a bad wheel bearing in these cars, park it. Don't drive that car, because the tires can fall off. Those are the one particular ones that the wheels can come off if they get a bad wheel bearing. But it's not a lot of issues at all. I have updates. So initially we thought it was the bottom of the radiator that was leaking, but on further inspection it's the actual bottom hose. And the issue is a clamp. So the old manufacturer clamp is rusted out, and that's what's causing the problem. So we're going to switch it out, and it should be good. Hold on. So guys, if you can see, I'm holding the panel back here so you guys can try to see this. In right here is where the problem is. If you look at the clamp on that hose, I'll put an arrow there for you when I edit the video. It's rusted out, and that's where the issue is. So all we got to do is change that clamp, and we'll be back running again. So guys, what we've done is we've put the clamp on around the hose and slid it up, and I don't know if you guys can see it there now with the camera, but he's trying to tighten up the 8mm bolt that goes through the clamp. So the whole problem with the car was, it wasn't the radiator like we first assumed it was. It was a faulty, well, not faulty, it was a rusted out manufactured clamp, hose clamp. And so we just took that one off, which is kind of hard to get at down there, and we put a new clamp on. And now what we're doing is just tightening up the hose clamp, and we should be fine. So luckily it wasn't the radiator, so don't have to be changing a radiator today like I first assumed. We just had to put a new hose clamp on it. And he's down there now tightening that up with the 8mm socket. And I think he has it fairly tight down there right now.
Oh, you piece of rag or something like that.
Yep. So what he's doing, guys, he's just cleaning everything up. So that way when we check everything, we'll make sure nothing's leaking. So he's going to spray some brake clean around just to clean things up, wipe it off with a rag. So when we start the car, we'll know if anything's weeping or leaking. if you look right here, this is a manufacturer's clamp, you see right there. And what happened was the clamp itself right here rusted out. And that's what the problem was down below on the bottom hose. So we took this clamp off, the manufacturer clamp, and we just bought a new style clamp to put on. I guess not a new style, but the different style with the 8mm bolt that you screw in and tightens the clamp with. And that's going to fix the problem. And we're going to start it up right now. And we're going to see if there's any leaks. I'm going to try to set the camera up so you guys can see this as I start the car. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing this or not, but it's a shot. Okay, so I'm going to start the car. You ready?
Yeah.
So guys, there is the fix. Right there on that hose is the fix. Nothing is leaking, everything is perfect. It's nice to know I don't have to change a radiator today. It was just a hose clamp. So I'm going to take it for a quick ride just to test it, get some pressure in, get the thermostat to open up, get everything circulating, and I'll take you guys for that ride with me. And now we're ready to give her a test drive, just to get her temperature up so that she can open the thermostat, start circulating around. Just give her a little drive and bring her back, and then we'll look and unnerve her. But don't let this detour you from these Chevy Impalas. You don't have a lot of trouble with these cars. That was a rusted out hose clamp, which can happen to anything. I'll always have faith in these cars, these Chevy Impalas. They're the best. And you guys are looking at this through the camera, but if you're sitting in the car here with me, this thing is riding like a new vehicle. There's no strange sounds, there's no hard bumps, just rides smooth and nice. So just give her a little drive. Temperature hand is sitting at half, which is right there. He's sitting at a half, which is where they're supposed to be. Every Impala we got runs exactly where you see. It's right there. That's where they run. So all that's fine. One thing I can vouch for is the engines in these cars. The 3500 engines are unbeatable. Chev 3500 in these Chevy Impalas, they're really good. We have one which is the 2008 Impala, which I keep talking about all the time. It almost has 500,000 kilometers on it. It doesn't burn any oil. It runs good. It runs fine. I speak about it in a lot of videos. I give a little review on it in a video, and the car is running smooth. So we're just going to give her a little run. and I didn't do it on camera, but I topped it off on antifreeze, and to make sure it was full.
Hellcat.